Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Bowie. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys,
I always
let's
think you're
get
going to
this.
lose a testicle when you do that, Scott.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to end up losing my voice one of these times, and that's
Yep.
it. Joe, you better step in. The
And
host of
then
the show.
he'll just die at that last
He'll
squeak.
just drop over, right? His
The
last
vocal cords get pinched out.
famous last words.
Well, Joe, to me, we just, I have to give you that emotion. So,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
and I know Joe enjoys it too. All right, boys, we're going to go to let's start with the Boston Red Sox because you can feel the energy. And when Tim Hoey validates the room and says he's back in, is this Al Pacino coming back in Godfather 3, 2, 3?
I never wanted to leave, Scotty.
They reeled you back in.
But they forced me out. I didn't want to leave.
They said, take your cigar and go.
Yeah, they just said, F you, F you, F you, repeatedly, until I said, oh, I guess they don't really want me anymore.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And it only took it's a girl that's abused me a million times, and all she has to do is kind of glance back at me a little bit and give me a little bit of hope, and I'm right back in.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It
right.
doesn't even have to be valid, but she's giving me just a little tiny glimmer of maybe there's a chance, and that's what it's like with the Red Sox right now. One freaking signing, $120 million commitment is all it took.
Well, it's 40 million. No,
40 million.
Look,
40 million.
Neither of us.
I'm easily swayed, I guess.
Joe,
Scotty, you must be very happy. Did you see the stats on today's game?
What did Mayor go?
Marcelo Maya went 3 for 3 with a home run, a triple, and a single, and then they pulled him. Didn't give him the shot for the cycle.
Scotty, is a 15-year extension appropriate?
It sure is. Guys, here, sign him up. Wait, hold on. We have Cam Newton is in front of him.
Yeah, he's still waiting for his check.
Yeah. But once he's done signing and we get him out of the room, we will go. Look, this is the thing. And Joe, would you agree? And Joe, and you called the Trevor Story fiasco years ago. It's Trevor's Story. They're trying to get rid of him. I think they want to get rid of him more than they want to get rid of Yoshida.
Oh, they would love to. And I think they'd bring up all three of their stars. They're cheap, under their control, and it's a lot easier to sell young teams to the public than selling Trevor Stories to them.
Yeah.
Trevor Story was an absolute band-aid.
He's not a bad player, but he's not.
But Joe, the way
doesn't
they signed him,
improve the team that much.
They were like, "Oh, we can't come back home without something to show the wife."
I think John Henry said to Heim, "Hey, you've done nothing." And so now there was nothing left to do but sign Story. So that's what he did.
They threw some ridiculous number at him, so he'd take it. And
it's like shopping at the airport gift shop when you forgot to get anyone gifts.
A $40 T-shirt.
Yeah, it's like, oh Christ, I can't. I have to come back with something for the kid.
Don't you feel like that? He had to come home with something, right?
Yeah.
And he was way late to the party. He was like the last one at the store, and the shelves were empty. There was one thing left on the shelf, and it was overpriced and under quality, and he bought it.
And he hasn't bailed them out one bit.
And right now he's kind of a roadblock to the future.
What percentage of at-bats that he was eligible to be at has he actually?
Maybe 15%.
I was going to just say that. Joe's right. Yeah, he's just been look when that guy when he had the shoulder injury, he looked like he got shot. I mean, and then I thought that was a fiasco because at first he didn't even have a sling on. Next thing you know,
even the next game, remember he was in the dugout with no sling or anything.
No sling, and the next thing you know, he had a sling on, and then next thing you know, he's doing some phony surgery that any doctor will do elective surgery if you ask him to.
I don't think. I think some people are just fragile. I don't know what it is. They're just.
when
fragile.
as you get older, you're not going to get less fragile either.
I
You
mean,
know.
I had some injuries playing. I had a shoulder surgery and banged up, but I don't know. Hockey players seem to
Yeah,
play
the
through it
hockey
all.
players are different. But Timmy, in sports, and so you, Joe, there's just some guys who need, well, if they're not 100%, they're not playing.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have different pain thresholds. Some people play through things, some people don't. It's just the way it is.
And these guys they're walking scar tissue by the time they're 30. So if you want to go scope them, you'll find something wrong with them.
Now, I got a question. Now, baseball players, I mean, probably, it's been said the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball. And I was a terrible hitter, so I have to agree with that. Do you think it takes such incredible mechanics to hit that you have to be almost 100% to get up there and take a swing at it?
I think even the littlest injuries can affect someone's swing, just like you think of your golf swing, Tim. If you got a sore knee and you're favoring it, your swing is off. You got a sore shoulder, it throws your swing off. Just little things.
So is that now? Why do I still suck when I feel 100% healthy?
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's
Joe's
the
right. Yeah.
tiniest of mechanics can throw it off, right?
Yes, exactly.
Whereas
And
you can
just
kind of
that
play
favoring
through it.
one thing or another does it.
If it's a really physical game, you can kind of play through it because it's not golf is fractions of an inch on that club and baseball's fraction of an inch on the ball.
But you're competing against the baseball. That once the ball has been released from the pitcher's arm, it's 98 miles an hour.
Yeah.
No matter
and
you can't
moving.
get around that.
Moving.
Yeah,
it's an individual sport masquerading as a team sport. I heard someone say that the other day.
Yeah, LeBron can be compromised, but he has such guile. He knows how to draw fouls. He knows how to do things to get him through the game successfully.
20 years as a professional gets you that kind of.
A hockey player can make a living just setting other guys up too.
Yeah.
For passes. Yeah. Some guys have the vision to make passes.
To go into the dirty places.
Or some people flop.
No, but I mean, hockey, some people are just a great passers. They have vision. They see they're 2 steps ahead. Gretzky, obviously. I mean,
put it right on the tape.
Yeah, they just make it happen. So that's you need teammates to do that.
So look, Marcelo is, and Corey's been talking about him all camp. I mean, this guy. Yes, I know he has to stay healthy. Naturally, every athlete has to do that.
Yeah.
But he's clearly taken it to another level, and I think he's no longer trade bait. Would you agree?
Man, was he ever trade bait?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're pumping and dumping. A lot of people in the around town were talking him as the number 1 trade chip that they had for good starting pitching before they got Crochet and Bueller and Cheerleader.
I'd be interested to know if they if the White Sox wanted Marcelo and they said no. We don't know if they maybe have wanted Teal over him.
Catcher is a more important position.
Yeah.
You think they would have given up Mayer for Crochet?
They may have, yeah. I think actually
how could you give up a guy? How could you give up a guy? How long do they have control over him? 5 years?
Crochet 2 years.
No. I mean over Mayer.
Yeah, it'd be 5 years. Yeah,
5 years at low pay for a guy who's going to take the field every game for you.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mayer makes more money than Crochet right now.
But I mean, for an injury-prone pitcher.
No, he's a minor leaguer. What are you talking about?
Oh, he got big money when he signed. He took most of their allotment.
Well, I know, but he's not getting paid right now.
He's not getting paid like in the $30-40 million.
Oh, no, but either is Crochet.
What's Crochet getting?
Crochet must be
probably he's still on his rookie deal. He gets arbitration next year, Tim.
Is Crochet's that young?
No, I think Crochet
25, Tim. 25.
Oh, I thought he was a.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. Look, there aren't too many people that you're not going to give up, possibly, or consider for a number 1 starter.
But a horse pitcher is one of the ones you
But Scotty,
more starting pitcher.
I want that starting pitch. Given Mayer, they have control 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years. You got them locked up. Crochet, a little injury prone. He's not taking the field every day either.
Yeah.
And
there's nobody more important to a baseball team than the number one starter.
He controls the game.
It's not even close.
From a guy that can get up to bat 4 or 5 times every game, and be a defensive started shortstop. Is that just a given? Is that a given fact in baseball?
Tim, you're kind of forgetting the history of the Red Sox before the 2000s. We had huge lineups, but no pitching.
Yeah.
And we always lost.
Pedro and Schilling got us over the hump.
That's why Clemens was so important in '86 and stuff, because he was the number one starter. Look, Josh Beckett, Timmy, won. We do not win 2007. He won us that World Series.
Oh, yeah, he was incredible.
And the championship. There's no shortstop that we're going to mention that won anybody's World Series ever. It's number one stars, Pedro and Schilling in 4, right? Beckett in 7.
No, let's take Jeter. So Jeter versus Beckett, you take Beckett?
Oh, absolutely. I take Beckett every time.
Yeah. What did Jeter ever win?
I didn't know that's how baseball looked at it.
Well, when you talk about the playoff system, when these guys in a 7-game series,
if you get in the postseason,
so that's just a given in baseball. Then
number one starter is
the most important guy on the team.
Yeah. Most important,
an ace number one, not the number 3 or 4 or 5 starters, Tim. The number one guy. You got
a Pedro,
Schilling,
those guys Beckett. That we've seen. The Detroit pitchers that they had those years.
Scherzer, and
I mean, you got it.
They're the quarterbacks of baseball.
Yeah, because come the playoffs, Tim, if you got the stud, you win games 1, 4, and 7.
That's right.
I don't know. I was under the impression that the everyday guys had more value. Those starting pitchers, they
do in the regular season.
They don't make the kind of money. The pitchers don't make the kind of money that
No, they do.
These 40, 50 home run guys do.
Yeah, they do.
Justin Verlander, he's probably at 600 plus million in his career, I bet.
So I mean, like, say the top 5 starting pitchers right now, if they went on the open market, they're getting 50 a year.
Yeah, 50 plus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
you learn something.
Yeah, people haven't let them get to the market.
This, you know what I mean?
Yeah. People haven't let them get to the market, Tim. That there hasn't been many dominant pitchers of late either.
Look, if he stays healthy, guys, you're gonna love Crochet. I mean, this guy.
I loved watching him pitch against us last year.
It's like non-competitive up at bats. These guys aren't even competing against him.
Lefty's got no chance. No chance.
How hard does he throw?
100. He was
100
in the spring
100 with lots of action on it.
And he's got other pitches too.
Yeah, it's a lefty.
Oh, okay. I got to watch a game.
Yeah. The hope is,
usually you don't want, you wouldn't want a lefty ace in Fenway Park. That's a Yankee Stadium thing, but we'll take them.
John Lester.
I know your favorite, a favorite of all time.
Oh my God! What do you had a problem with him?
Hold on, I just keep getting these American Express alerts on my phone. My wife's going crazy on Amazon. It appears, Sorry.
Look, do you need to go and remain her in? Or anything?
You don't dare. You can't. Go ahead. Whatever you need. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then Colin
will be want, honey.
Then Colin, Jesus, Joe, why don't we have his American Express card? I know Colin gets it.
I know. Jeez, didn't you give the number over the phone to Colin?
Yeah, I'm still paying for Europe, guys. Okay, it's 4 months later. I'm still paying for Europe.
I'm just gonna keep on calling Timmy and say, "Did you get the verification code? Did you get the verification?
I need a 6-digit code."
I get that question 3 times a week minimum.
That was so funny when Colin called when we were in the car.
And you gave him the wrong number.
Where was he? He was in probably.
I had my glasses on.
He was at the Louvre. Who knows where he was?
That was great. That video from Egypt was. Oh my God, that was
What a way to spend your birthday, huh? After playing around the golf with an Egypt, he has a tape of he had an Egyptian caddy, and the guy, beautiful drive, Mr. Collin.
Oh, fun. I love it. But look, the Red Sox, Bregman changed everything. We said it was going to, but it literally did change everything.
It's a domino effect.
It is. It truly is. And it was a wake-up call. Look, if it wasn't for Bregman, then we were going to see that fat ass Rafael Devers sit there and be historically bad third baseman.
So is it leaning towards Bregman at third?
Oh, there's no question. He's not playing anywhere else. Mm-hmm. He's third baseman. I mean, look, they got plenty of depth. They have Campbell.
They've had Campbell and Grissom playing second.
Yeah.
Do you think Campbell stays?
I don't know.
I think they'd like to send him down. They'd rather send him down, Tim, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because if Grissom plays pretty well, they can always bring Campbell up, and then you increase Grissom's trade value, which Grissom's not the future, but you'd like to see you get something when you send him out the door.
And I remember last year, how many second basemen did they have?
Oh my God.
A dozen? Maybe a dozen?
Yeah,
dozen different guys play second? Even Long played second, for God's sake.
Remember when we go to the games, we weren't even sure who these guys were in the lineup.
Oh my God. There would be guys coming out of the bullpen I never heard of.
Although I did like that David Hamilton. I thought he played. I liked the way he played last year.
Second base is a terrible shortstop.
Jim. Oh yeah, he was awful. Couldn't make a decision at shortstop.
No, but he doesn't have the arm.
You know who I like that they just signed with the Yankees? Remember the first baseman, Don? What was like Don Amici? Dom something. Dom Smith.
Oh, Dominic Smith. Yeah, we liked him. Yeah,
I liked him, but he signed with the Yankees. There was no place for him when Casas came back.
How's Casas looking, by the way?
I don't know.
I haven't seen him.
As he get up to bat, how many preseason games have they had?
Oh, they were like 5 or 6.
They've had a half dozen or so. Yeah.
Has he had at bats?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the stats like you used to. Get the paper every day and they'd see the stats every day. Now I don't, see that.
Again, this is a very interesting year for Casas because if he stinks, I'm not even joking. This is a guy who could be out of the league in a year.
I think he'll do well. I was looking today on DraftKings to see if they had player props, for over-under on home runs guys are going to hit this year. Because I saw that on FanDuel they had him. I saw some show on Nesson this morning was on still from the hockey game last night. And like Bregman's 22.5. I think that's an easy over. He's going to have 20 at Fenway alone.
Yeah. What do they got Casas at?
I don't know. I tried looking on DraftKings and I couldn't find player props like that.
Fenway's going to love Bregman. Oh my God. He's the guy has the perfect swing for Fenway Park. He really does. And just such a solid player. And again, I know you guys think it's one and done. I'm not convinced. I think this guy stays here at least 2 years.
I know we're Boston fans. We like to say, people fall in love with this town or players fall in love with this town. Do you think if they had a good year and he saw what it can be like to be a star in Boston, if that would have any influence?
The money would have to be right, Tim. Remember, that's the number one thing. All professionals, forget about loving this place, that place. They don't. They go with the place with the most money.
Sometimes you do see them leaning towards a place that their family likes. They want to raise their family there, whether it be the school systems or whatever.
Timmy loves that. Timmy, that's what he wants. He wants you don't just to get to come to Boston. You have to love this place.
You gotta,
and you have to live here the rest of your life.
You gotta love us.
You can't even go. The only way you can leave the area is maybe for a family funeral.
Yeah, you have to say.
That's pretty much it.
Why would I ever leave this wonderful place? But then when I'm down in Boca Raton, I say, why would I ever leave this wonderful place?
But look, the depth. I think the depth is the most exciting thing about the Red Sox. Is they're deep in so many positions. Where last year, like we said, guys were coming up
But
to play key positions.
like you said, it's amazing what one addition.
Yeah.
And why the F did the Sox just they could have done it 2 years ago. You know, I mean, one or two guys.
Well, I
One or
think
two guys could have
they claimed they were waiting for this batch of Campbell, Teal, Anthony,
Joe,
and
you
Mayer
know my
to come up.
response to that is, if you're the Red Sox, you're not allowed to do that. The Yankees aren't allowed to do that. Okay, the Dodgers aren't allowed to do that. No. And the Red Sox are not allowed to do that.
There's no reason to. They'll come up when they come up.
Yeah.
You spend the money. You made in profit a minimum $300 million last year. Seriously? You couldn't have put $100 million of that toward a team that could have competed for a World Series last year?
Yeah. The price it costs to go to those games, we every year deserve. It's not like Oakland where you can walk in and pay $6 and sit anywhere you want for any game you want. I mean, Oakland's not even Oakland anymore.
They're playing in Sacramento this year, I think.
Yeah, I remember I went to an A's game. You could just walk up. Those back in the days where,
oh yeah,
you got to know someone to get a Red Sox ticket.
Ask Scotty about Baltimore, the old Memorial Stadium. Oh my God, you could walk in. You could bring a case of beer in with you, Tim.
Right.
They didn't care.
They had great teams. They had great teams.
The Red Sox aren't allowed to do what they've done the last 3 or 4 years.
No, and they were still getting the same profit. And then look, what changed? And again, they were very close, to not signing Bregman. What changed in letting them pull the trigger on Bregman?
Well, I think they were comfortable with the short-term deal.
Yeah. Well, they said they weren't going more than 4 to begin with. He wanted 7. And they said, no way, we're not going more than 4.
Look, I think they've written it in stone right now. No more of these long-term deals.
Well, I think they would have made a long-term deal for someone like Soto that's 26. Yeah. Or for Vlad Guerrero, who's 25, or is he 26 now? Ohtani, those guys are young. But guys that are 30, they're not getting 10-year deals.
They do not want any more 36-year-old top 20 highest paid guys in the league with 3 years to go on the contract,
Well, it is bad business. I agree with them there, even though I would like them.
But unfortunately, Joe, that's what the star players demand now. And someone's willing to do it with Zeke. We always see.
Look what San Diego paid.
Xander is just ridiculous.
Xander, that's ridiculous.
Would we be mad at the Red Sox right now if they were on the hook for that contract?
Oh my God!
Yes, we would, because we'd be saying that's why we pay the most for our seats.
But we were up in arms. We were up in arms when we let them walk.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see what if they can extend Crochet before the season starts. You have to commit.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Well, those things always, this posturing, Joe. Nobody's going to give up, give any information. But you would assume that they'll try to re-up them for 5 years.
What do you think? What kind of?
Well, if they have 2 years right now, to extend them another 5 years, I would assume it'll cost you about $28 a year, right?
That's all.
I think more money.
That sounds like a discount.
If he has a good year this year, he'll get 20. He'll get 20 in arbitration next year, anyways. Giving him 28 is not going to,
you're giving him some security.
You're talking about him, Scotty, and the way you were just describing starting pitchers, this guy should be 55 a year.
No, but you're not going to give him that now because.
No, but is that what he'd get though? I mean,
they do have 2 years where they could pay him just the arbitration figure.
Oh, so you're saying
an additional 5? Maybe even additional 3. If you did in a 5-year deal, he would be. I will say at 30 a year. Then he comes out of that set for life, and at 30. He hits the free agent market.
So the way to entice him is to bump up the 2 years he's here now.
Right. No, they won't do that. They won't do that. It'll be an extension off the 2. They're not going to give up those 2 control.
Well, why would he settle, Scotty? If he's as good,
then he won't.
He's going to settle because
no way. He'd be stupid to.
No, he won't, Joe.
Scotty, from the way you're describing him and the way you just said how important starting pitching is. This guy's looking at $600 million 10-year contract.
No, but he's not right now, Timmy, because
No, he's not right now. But why
but
would
he's
he just
injury
wait?
In
prone.
2 years, he would
He's
be.
injury prone.
Why doesn't he just wait for the 2 years and do that?
Because he's injury prone and he's never pitched over what 130 innings. So there's a question. He wants a guaranteed money here. If he blows his arm out, he's going to want $100 million guaranteed.
Look at Garrett Whitlock. He grabbed the money and he hasn't pitched since, has he?
Yeah. So Timmy, I mean, both. He's got to give a little bit to get life-changing money. And why would he do that?
Brian Bayo, he took the money.
Yeah, Rafaela took the money. A lot of these guys across the league are taking the money.
Because, if the 5 years, it is guaranteed money. This isn't like football where if you get hurt, they say, well, here's an insurance settlement. See you later. You get the money.
What's his injury history at this point?
One time he got hurt.
But you have Timmy, you wouldn't have Colin extend right now if they offered him 3 years additional for $90 million total. You're going to tell me you're going to say no to that because you could get more?
I guess, I'd have to look at his health,
Why would you do that? $90 million to sign a piece of paper?
When you're looking at, 5 years, he'd only be 20.
He'd be 30. He'd be 30 coming into the market, and if he's a quality pitcher, he'll get his.
He'll be a free agent at 27, Tim.
No. If he did an extension,
there's a lot of variables.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at leaving, $100 million on the table.
Or you look at. I'd rather.
Or you look at
how you look
again, and you got $90 million coming.
Yeah, it's a gamble, Tim. You can gamble, or you can take a much shorter payday, but it's guaranteed.
Yeah,
you win
first. Yeah,
you win either way. You're set for life either way.
No, you win for sure if you take the money. Then the rest of it, you get into a car accident. That's it. You gotta go get a job. No, take the $90 million. Thank you. To play baseball, who goes to Little League and has the expectations to make $100 million in baseball? Come on.
But then you're looking around at, some of the other salaries.
He could be making $20 million a year for the next 2 years anyway.
Exactly. He's doing very well.
Because the arbitration is going to, if he has a year like last year, this year, the arbitration is giving him $20 to $25 million easy.
Well, from what we've heard, that the Red Sox are working on it, so that would be very impressive if they could sew him up, right?
Yeah,
they have shown a predilection to doing that lately.
Yeah.
Well, like we just referred to Rafaela, Bayo, and
they would have done it to Psycho Cases if he wasn't such an asshole.
I know when he blew it.
Because last year they offered.
Now he's begging for it.
If Scotty was signing those checks, it'd be golden.
But they offered him, Timmy. They offered him the same kind of deal they were doing Bayo and Rafaela.
And he
turned him down.
Oh, man. Cass is coming.
And then he thought they would renegotiate him. He thought they'd come back with a better deal. They never said another word.
When they're negotiating with this guy, they should show him the Cassis as a model of what can go wrong.
Oh, he's going to end up.
Everything went wrong for Cassis last year.
He's going to end up with Skip Lockwood sitting at a table at the Red Sox souvenir shop, signing those little cards before the game.
He's coming out with his own brand of toenail polish.
I tell you, I was willing. That's what I was looking for. I was willing to bet the over on him this year, whatever they had. I think he'll have a decent year where he has to prove it.
Oh my!
This is a prove it year for him, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows it or not. I wonder if he's.
Oh, he knows it. He knows it. He knows how badly he screwed up last year. You can tell by the way he talks and walks now.
If he gets hurt and he can continue walking, he can just walk right out of Fenway Park, right out of Kenmore Square, and just go wherever the fuck he came from.
He's going to be playing the Argentina Winter League.
They're done. He cannot afford to have a little owie that costs him 40, 50 games. They're done with him.
What did the Sox offer him?
They didn't say, but he and his agent turned it down.
I'm going to bet you.
I'm assuming it was probably more than Rafaela, but not too much more.
Wait, who got more? Bayo got more than Rafaela.
Bayo got, but I think they were different terms.
I'm going to bet you it's a Bayo deal. Wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yeah.
And how much is that?
What was he making? About 8.5 a year.
Yeah.
What is Cassis getting now?
500,000. Yeah, 300,000, 400,000.
Turn that down.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why
he was riding. He was thinking he was the king, the cock of the walk there and then, all of a sudden the whole season went to shit, and
But that was
$8 million.
And due to he made it that way.
$8 million a year for 2 years. You can never work a day again for the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
$1 million in the bank pays you $50,000 a year. You put $8 million in the bank. That's $400,000.
So to live a comfortable lifestyle now, comfortable. You got to make at least $500,000 a year.
He would have been having that on interest. Yeah, he could do that on interest if he's again. Look, these guys think very highly of themselves, and they want the big bucks. And he again. He hurt us so much last year because we couldn't get a first baseman to replace him. The Garrett Coopers, the Dominic Smiths. I know you like them, Joe, but that was really an abyss at first.
Yeah.
At second base.
But Dominic Smith had so many good moments, like the bunts and things like that.
I know, dirt doggish.
You never thought you'd see again.
Like dirt doggish things. I know you both like the dirt doggish things, but my first baseman needs to hit 30+ home runs. At least mine.
I agree. That's what I like to see. Corner infielders, got to be hitting 30+, and I'd like 100 RBIs.
And a guy that size, he should be hitting pop-ups out.
Oh yeah. And that look, the first base and the whole right side was just a disaster. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. The left side was bad, and the right side was bad.
It was ridiculous.
I mean, it was remarkable that Cora was able to, and Cora did a great job last year, that he got that team to 500 for as messy as they were all year was pretty remarkable.
And with that bullpen last year, and with that starting pitching that never went more than 4 1/3,
God did a great job. He deserved an extension for how hard he had to work to get that to a 500 team. That was a terrible team. All right, boys, we got to go to the Boston Celtics. I just want to let everybody know in the Celtics world, they're allowed to lose a game in the regular season in February. It's okay.
But that's a highlight of the year was that Derek White 3 points in there.
Oh, my God. He does that stuff all the time. Did you see that?
How is he thinking so far ahead of everybody else that he knows if the ball's coming to him to jump in the air behind the 3-point line and take that shot?
So, Timmy, Joe, you want to explain the play to Timmy?
Oh, I didn't
see it, no.
Who had the ball? Was it Tatum?
Yeah, I think so.
And the shot clock's running down, and he's trapped. He just wings it over to White. Derek White is in front of the 3-point line in the right corner. He jumps in the air so that he'll be behind it and catches the ball. And in the air, he shoots while he's in the air. His feet have never touched the ground.
Yeah.
And he swishes a 3-pointer.
He had the awareness to know that the clock was running out. And he knew he didn't
have he was on the court.
He wouldn't have a chance to catch and quickly shoot. So he did something that I've never seen before.
I've never seen it before either.
I'll have to look it up as soon as
he caught it and threw it up at a 3-pointer. And of course, if he misses it or airballs it, which normally that would be, he makes
you're throwing up some trash, but he swished it.
Nails it. It was like it was planned. He does that crazy stuff all the time.
Some athletes just have
one step ahead.
A different brain than they just get things,
But what guy used to do that all the time with the clock running out was Marcus. Marcus used to hit a lot of crazy shots with the clock running out too.
The other team would always try to get the ball to Marcus.
They'd force it to him. but this was just an incredible play
Yeah.
and just a credible awareness of the situation and and how to make the best of it.
Speaking of incredible, did anyone see the highlight of that kid from BU's goal?
No.
Yesterday, it made ESPN's play, top 10, made
Top
number
10.
one. I think his name's Holtz. His brother's a big star in the NHL.
Hmm.
I heard he's like $140 soaking wet, a 140-pound defenseman. And when you get on it, look it up. It's, oh my God, it's like one of those, who would ever think to do that move goals? You know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
By the way, the Bruins are losing 1-0.
Never in my hockey life would I have thought of this move that he
I want to see it. Yeah, I might have to see it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine San Antonio, how pissed they must be now that they have Victor, that they traded Derek White for nothing, and how pissed we would be if we got rid of Derek White and he became Derek White. Oh my!
Scotty,
well, they gave up a lot. They gave up 2 players and 2 draft picks.
We all looked to the big change in the Celtics. It was when Derek White arrived.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He was
everything.
He was a presence in that room that changed everything.
The straw that stirred the drink.
I remember not knowing anything about him, watching that first game, and whenever he came in by halftime, I'm like, it's a different team with him on the court.
Yeah. I think he had an effect on the Jays, some type of an effect on them.
Well, Tim, I know that both Jays and Marcus, all 3, said they wanted him.
But
before the deal, when they went, they discussed the deal with those guys, and they all 3 said yes. They the 2 Jays had played with White on the All-America team, and so they knew each other, and they knew that he was a good guy to have as your teammate.
Yeah, but Joe,
obviously,
they didn't give up. What are you talking about? 2 players. Romeo Langford is playing, I think, in Korea. Richardson's, I think, out of the league. They gave him.
I think he's with the Hawks now.
But they gave him they got late pick and
a first-round pick and a second-round, wasn't it?
No, it was a pick swap, I think.
Oh, pick swap.
And San Antonio is going to be pretty good, so it's not even going to really matter.
Yeah.
So that was one of the greatest deals in the history.
Oh yeah, it was.
I mean, that's almost like a minor deal.
Yeah.
And then they were able to re-sign him that year when he was still not considered a real major player.
Oh my God! I mean, look, the Holiday deal.
What would San Antonio do to get him back?
Oh my God! He would change everything.
That kind of a presence with Wemby on the team, that kind of maturity, that leadership, good guy.
Again, they wouldn't have had to go get that fossil out of the casket, Chris Paul.
Oh, I know, right? Well, didn't they also get Fox?
Yeah, they just got him, didn't they? In that trade at the deadline. Now that makes sense. De'Aaron Fox makes sense.
Thoughts and prayers to Wemby. You hope, again, this guy is such a freak. What is he, 7'5"? I mean, when you hear,
but he's done for the year, right?
He has a blood clot. God, how does even a 7'5" guy function in the world physically? I mean, it's such a freakish height.
Well, that's what's so unusual about him. His coordination level is that of a 6'3" person.
Oh, yes, incredible.
That's what's crazy about him. There's a lot of tall guys out there, but they can't move with the fluidity that he moves with.
And he can dunk with his feet on the floor.
Yeah.
Wow.
He seems like a very nice
guy. He has
guy.
To go up on tiptoes to dunk, but
he's the future of the
his
league.
Feet are still on the floor.
I just think, it's very weird that we always get back to our sports teams, but Barmore and Wemby, hopefully they both are able to continue their careers with blood clots. That's going to be a difficult situation.
Well, they typically put you on a blood thinner, and it's very dangerous to get a cut when you're on a blood thinner. Right?
Well, not as much.
Well, not really. You're not really. You'd need like be slashed up. I mean, I was taking a blood thinner, being when I had the AFib years ago, and you get a cut, it bleeds. It just doesn't stop for a long time. It just stays
I
loose.
remember when I had all my hip surgeries. I used to have to go in there like once a week and get
Oh, the Coumadin. That was the
Yeah,
Coumadin,
that was
yeah.
before they get it with Eliquis. But the thing is, it's about head injuries. It's if you get hit in the head
Get
or
a clot.
fall in the head, that's when a blood clot can really be a problem. And that's where I don't understand the whole. And we'll go to the Patriots. Again, are the Patriots planning to have Barmore back? Do you guys think that he's coming back?
I don't know what the
today.
I don't
Today
know what,
he said Elliot Wolf said he's working out in Florida. Right.
Okay, because Barmore is playing, and then they all of a sudden said he had a setback, which means he must have had another blood clot.
yeah, I don't know what the science is, Scotty. I don't know. You know,
I just don't think he can play, but I don't think he can play football with that.
Well, now they're in a real tough spot. Wise is washed up, and they just gave Godshow permission to seek a trade.
Okay, Joe, will you explain that to me? What's a permission to seek a trade? Basically, I don't understand that. Who's
Then his agent could go to other teams and see if they want him.
and try to work out.
Otherwise, would be tampering. You couldn't go.
But you're not getting any more than a 7th-round pick. Clearly, the Patriots are
Probably not. If they know you're on the market like that, you're not getting anything more than a 6th or a 7th, or even just a swap of 7ths or something.
Yeah, because okay. So, so they just does that basically tell the rest of the league they're going to cut him?
Well, maybe somebody has an interest in him. Maybe somebody does want him.
Yeah.
It's not the Patriots that don't want him. He doesn't want the Patriots. Is the problem?
Really?
The Patriots probably won't cut him.
Yeah, but
he's the one that wants out. He thinks the Patriots suck.
Oh, if you can get a 7th-round pick, I'm all for it.
No.
Is it that bad now? Guys are looking to leave.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Leave. Okay. I mean, I'm not married to any guy not named Gonzalez or Messiah.
But that leaves them with almost no defensive linemen.
Well, look, did you watch the season, Joe? Did you watch that defense? They were a sieve.
They could run on them.
Well, Scotty, it might be even worse if they all leave.
Get much worse. No, they're going to bring in. They got plenty of dough. Bring in good players. I don't know why is that so hard.
They're projected to have $135 million.
So is this all coming back to the player survey, Scotty?
Oh my God. How do you go from 29th to 31st? I mean, you're not even trying.
The thing that jumped out at everyone was the ashtrays on the armrests.
I don't. That's how all that is. But it's just mind-boggling that when the survey came out last year and they finished dead last at 32, and remember the worst facilities. Now they're building a new weight room because they came in even this year. They came in last in the weight room and like next to last in training room. Now they're building a new training center and weight room.
Yeah, well,
because they were so embarrassed.
Paul mentioned that that was before they took these steps to do that. Hmm. Do you think it really goes back to Kraft's alligator arms?
Yeah,
well, he doesn't want to
pockets.
Yeah, I wonder. When they were winning, when they had that 20-year dynasty, you wonder if Bob Kraft went home every night and looked in the mirror and said, "You're the smartest. You're the best. Look at all these suckers out there paying all this money, and I'm the one taking the Super Bowl home every year."
Well, he had Belichick and Brady. He had Belichick running a tight ship, getting it in for cheap. They were always in the bottom 10. In those 20 years, they were spending the least in the league.
Well, look,
that was a point of pride. When he went to the owners' meetings, he probably rubbed it in the rest of them's face.
He did.
First place every year, and you all spend twice.
I'm putting more money in my pocket than all he has put together, and I'm winning. And so that makes me the smartest.
And that's why he is not getting in the Hall of Fame while he's alive. He can't believe it.
Last year, Mayo said they're going to spend big time, right? They're going to spend to the cap.
Burn some cash.
Then, of course, he has to You
Eat
swallow
that.
his words a week or two later when Kraft went in
He
the
didn't
shell
run
down.
that quote by the front office before, or maybe
they
they let him to believe they were gonna, But then when it came time to sign the checks, he said, "Nah." They said, "Nah."
He literally spent no money. They literally did nothing in free agency.
Well, they bought like what's his name, Chooks Okafor there that left
Did
the
not want to
team.
play.
And
Brissett was another. All the free agents stunk.
Yeah.
All the guys that they re-signed had their worst year. Barmore, of course, not due to his own fault. That was a bad signing. Duggar had his worst year ever in his career. Stevenson, worst year in his career by far. All the guys that they
Peppers.
gave Peppers, of course, again, no, maybe kind of due to his own fault. They're getting arrested.
Well, it was due to his own fault. I mean, he wasn't completely innocent.
But everyone that Elliott Wolf chose to reward with a contract extension turned out to be a dog.
Joe, the worst one may be Kendrick Bourne coming off an ACL injury.
Yep.
Literally, he would not even played in the NFL this year, and they extend him. Who are they competing against?
No, that's Elliott Wolf. That's his free agent signings were awful. The draft was a bust.
Well, no. The Messiah.
One player.
And Wolf just came out, was it today, and said that he's the final decision maker on all the players.
Yep.
He said that?
Yeah.
Yep. It's in his contract.
Oh.
Of course. Who knows how that?
He put a disclaimer at the end.
The boss can change that, I'm sure.
He said, of course, when Vrabel, when Vrabel was coming, it was understood that he had to have a lot of input.
Nothing is.
And you know what he did? The best today was Polk. Oh, I think we put a little too much on his plate. Wait a minute. You drafted him to do a job. You gave him a job. He didn't do it. What do you mean you put too much on his plate?
On whose plate? Mayo's?
No, Polk.
Polk.
If you think for 1 second that anything's going past Vrabel without his approval, then you're stoned out of your mind.
Well, the way a lot of NFL clubs work is the GM gives you the roster, and the coaches get to make the cuts. They figure who stays, who doesn't. But that's the decision, the personnel decision-making split. But he gave Mayo the crappiest roster you could possibly have.
God. Yeah, absolutely.
So you'd have to think in a pissing contest because out of Vrabel's head or Wolf's head goes.
Oh, no question. Yeah, absolutely.
Why is he still there? He's horrible. I don't get it.
I don't know. Jonathan's friend or something.
I don't get it.
I think that well, Joe, you had mentioned, obviously there's been a lot of
Belichick hated him, and he hated that he was doing the scouting for him, doing all the draft picks.
Matt Groh is terrible too. I mean, I don't know why Groh.
But Elliott was in charge. Was the director of scouting.
Well,
that's what Belichick hated was
him.
Elliott.
And Jonathan must be beer drinking buddies or something. I mean, if Belichick hated him and he didn't get rid of him, it had to be.
He's got pulled from a Kraft. Yeah, he's got Kraft pulled.
Well, because Belichick had pretty much full say over there on who came and who went.
No, the Krafts do the hiring. Like Matt Patricia, bringing him back.
Well, Vrabel did not come to not have full autonomy to make all the decisions in this. Come on.
Well, now Josh is back. Is Vrabel making all the decisions?
You think Vrabel's going to take a backseat to anyone, Joe?
To make $10 million a year, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's not his personality.
But he could have made $10 million somewhere else.
Could he have? He didn't get a job last year.
No, come on. He would have gotten a job. Come on. You serious?
I think he went to the Jets. He got interviewed, but
he wanted to come. Look, we'll see. We'll see how they draft, and you'll know who puts their mark on it.
They're getting fat guys, and if you listen to Wolf, I'm pretty sure they're trading down.
So
he was saying today I heard him say today, he said, well, there's not much at the top of the draft. The middle seems to be the media part, which means he wants to draft into that middle.
Well, his player selection the last 4 years, 5 years has been atrocious. Atrocious. You couldn't miss that many times if you were picking blindfolded.
Well, he was picking the problem is you got to have the scouts and the coach on the same plane. He was picking Green Bay players. Belichick wanted Patriots players. Mayo wanted Patriots players. He's bringing in Green Bay players. If Vrabel is fine with the schemes that Elliott scouts for, then they're good.
Be terrible
Belichick
players.
and Mayo weren't.
Be terrible players. That's what he looks for.
Well, no, you see it all the time. Guys don't work in one scheme, but they work in another.
Okay.
Like Kyle Van Noy was on TV the other day. Here's a prime example.
Isn't it called just running, getting open, and catching a ball that's thrown to you?
Oh, and wide receivers, geez, I'm kind of wanting to get Hunter now just to have a good wide receiver.
Look, we talked about this before. The need coming into last year's draft was fat guys and wide receivers. They did draft both of those positions, and they were all disasters.
They were horrible.
These are guys not only do not perform this year, guys, would you agree, but do not belong in the league.
Well, the offensive linemen are going to stick around because sometimes over the course of years it works out with them.
Okay, Robinson and Wallace showed absolutely nothing, Joe.
Yeah, Wallace was hurt the whole year. Robinson had to get benched a couple times. They had to pull him right out of games.
Timmy, Baker and Polk, disasters.
Yeah.
Not just in their performance, but in their attitudes also.
Yeah. You're
big mouths too.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing worse than someone, like we're picking on Cassis here. The audacity to underperform and have the fucking balls to say anything.
I got the best hands in the NFL.
If I'm sucking, I'm hiding a corner under a blanket somewhere. Please don't ask me any questions.
No shame.
You're working on your craft. At least Casey had a good rookie season.
Yeah.
And finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting. I mean, so at least he had some level of a resume to talk a little bit. Baker didn't get a catch till the last game of the season, a junk catch, and Polk was statistically, Joe, you're Mr. PFF, the worst wide receiver in football.
He didn't have 8. I think he had 8 catches.
But he was the worst.
He probably had 30 drops. How many did he drop right in his hands?
Every
all by himself.
That's your function on the planet, is to catch that ball.
That's it.
And he can't.
Look, I know Joe doesn't agree with me. Both of them are getting cut. They're both getting cut.
Maybe Baker. They always give second round draft picks second and third chances.
Not if
and the way Wolf was talking about him today, he's getting a second chance. Unless Vrabel puts his foot down and says, I don't want this kid anywhere near my team.
Wolf was, again, throwing the coaching staff under the bus.
Yep.
Who?
It was the coaching staff's fault that Polk was no good.
Wolf is he's just a squirmy little thing. He's like a gnat. You just want to.
Well, he might be gone after the draft.
Yeah,
sometimes they do that with GMs. They let them go through the draft and then they cut them.
Yeah. Okay. 4th pick in the draft. Our hope is that 2 quarterbacks get taken in the top 3 picks. That's
that is our prayer.
Then we'll have our choice of Carter, Hunter.
I don't want Carter now. So Carter now has a stress fracture, and apparently he also has shoulder injury.
That's why he's not. He's not playing. He's not performing at the combine because of his shoulder, Tim. And during the physical at the combine, they found out he's got a stress fracture in his foot. in that.
No, I'm good. That's all I need to know. You have two
Those stress
injuries.
fractures keep coming back, don't
I
they?
got a stress fracture right before I went into Coast Guard boot camp, and it still hurts me. If I walk the golf course, by the eighth hole, it starts hurting me,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that's from 45 years ago.
yeah. A shoulder injury, an NFL player. No, thank you. I'm good. You shouldn't even at that age. You shouldn't even know you have a shoulder. It shouldn't be hurting, and it shouldn't be a problem. I don't want to touch that guy at all. Please,
Wow.
no way. Remember we
The
had
other
that
big
guy,
news
Joe?
today was Mason Graham came in undersized.
Oh, he did?
He was advertised as 320, 296.
Wow.
And kind of showed him, Abdul Carter isn't as big as the Patriots or any NFL team likes in their edge defenders.
How
He's
big
only
is
6'3". They
Yeah.
like him along like 6'5", 6'6".
well? How big is Micah Parsons?
Oh, he's the middle linebacker. He's off the ball linebacker.
Joe, remember it was Dominic Easley. Didn't he come in the league with all these injuries, concerns, and then he was a big stiff for us? Wasn't it Easley?
Yeah, the problem with him is, remember, he refused to work with the Patriots training staff on those injuries. He wanted his own private. He wanted to spend instead of being at training camp, he wanted to be in Florida with his trainers.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he was.
They had to get rid of him.
I don't want any guy who has a history of injuries, right, Timmy? I mean, I mean, if he's young like that,
Dominic Easley became a good NFL player.
the Rams, right?
Yeah, he just had like great stats as far as appearances, plays, his snap count versus like quarterback pressures. He was like tops in the league.
Stunk with us.
Well, it comes in so highly touted, though. I mean,
well, that's what they wanted, a disruptive guy, that you could put all along the line, like they do with Keon White.
I want Hunter. I like a guy. He can play cornerback, wide receiver. I want a guy. We need those kind of specialized.
Well, I'd like him to be like a wide receiver, and you put him in as like the dime back.
I think he's a full-time. He's the other side.
No, I don't think you can't do that to someone.
No, that's what he. No, you got. Wait, you're gonna draft a guy fourth. He's gonna play a lot. What are you talking about? He's not.
Yeah, but play wide receiver every snap.
What was
and then you play like in dime situations, or make him the nickel back.
What was the old trivia question? Who was the before that white cornerback who did he win Rookie of the Year this year? Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who's that white cornerback that came in to the league this year? High pick in the draft.
I know who you mean. I can't.
Yeah. Okay. So
who
was the last white cornerback before him to play a down in the NFL?
No, there's plenty white cornerbacks.
Oh yeah,
plenty of. The last one before him.
That made all pro or something.
No. That played a down. Cardinals. That played a down as a cornerback, a white cornerback.
All right, what's the answer?
The answer is Edelman.
What? You mean for the Patriots?
They had Edelman play a few downs.
For the Patriots, not the league.
I'm talking the whole league.
No.
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
I don't know.
Look it up. I heard it. It was a trivia question.
Where did you see that?
Huh?
Where'd you see that?
I remember seeing it as a trivia question. I think it was somewhere. I know.
Edelman was the worst quarterback I ever saw in my life. Remember what the Ravens did to him? 8 straight plays right at his man. Boom.
Because that wasn't his
Edelman. Edelman was the worst.
When he was a cornerback.
He was the worst.
Wasn't
he was so bad.
Right, I have to see that.
They had no one else to put back there, and he bit the bullet and played cornerback.
Yeah. He didn't belong back there at all. No, it was ridiculous.
It was a desperation.
And then the Ravens did the stupidest thing. They got down the field, 8 straight plays throwing at his man, 8 straight completions. Then they threw to the other side. Remember? And who was it? The other corner stripped it out of the guy's hands. It was a touchdown. The Ravens won, and guy stripped it out of his hands.
That kid did a good job this year. He was almost. Did he win Defensive Rookie of the Year? Do you know, Joe?
No.
Let me look up. Who was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year? I know he was in the conversation.
Boy, Scotty's going to be happy with this. Is where the Patriots have 135 million to spend. They are far and away got the most in the NFL. Second is the Raiders. They have 100, but the team with the third most to spend this year is Scotty's Washington Commanders.
Yeah. So look, I don't think
Cooper DeJean is the kid's name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the kid that had the pick six there.
Yeah, he had a great year.
I thought he was a linebacker.
No, he's defensive back, cornerback.
Yeah, he is a back.
I don't think Kraft.
Philadelphia there. Remember, he got the pick six in the Super Bowl.
I don't think Kraft's going to spend much. I'm telling you, I don't think he. I think.
Oh, of course they would. They're gonna make that phony spending like they did that like 3-4 years ago. And Kraft will go around bragging, "Oh, I spent 250." Yeah, and how much did you actually pay of that?
Yeah,
45.
I'm not buying Bob Kraft is willing to do that at all.
I don't see him doing it, Scotty.
Yeah, me either. And again,
he was successful for 25 years without spending a nickel. He's not going to change his stripes.
No, he's not.
He's going to be determined he can do it again that way.
81st richest person in the country worth $8+ billion, and he doesn't want to spend money on his team. He's 83 years old. Really? Does he? There are no hearse that have luggage compartments. He's not going to be able to take it with him.
He's got all the sons there that going to get a piece of the action.
$8 billion, for God's sake!
I think any of them have real jobs.
Spend your money on your team. Look, we've been ripping on John Henry. We got to give John Henry his props. At least he spent some money this off season, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go to the Bruins. I've been saying it.
Currently losing 2-0.
I've been saying it for months. You guys have been telling me I'm wrong.
I'm leaving Team Tim. I've been on Team Tim till now, but now I'm on Team Scott that they gotta sell because I wanted to go see what this team would do in the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So you may as well sell.
They're not making the playoffs. Right now, they wouldn't make the playoffs. They stink, but also they stink. They're not a good team.
I think it's they have the personnel. They can be a good team. They just don't have the right coach, I think.
Well, I mean, how many coaches do they have to piss through, Joe?
I know they push the three they've fired in the last 8-10 years are all great coaches.
8-10 years, not even that long, Joe.
Claude.
Claude. I'm talking about Cassidy.
Cassidy and Monty. Those are three guys all considered great coaches in the NHL.
Yeah.
So, Timmy, as our hockey expert, explain to me the last 3 years now where they cannot hold a lead with an empty net.
I don't know, Scotty. It's like a disease. I've never seen anything in my life like it. I mean, different coaches, different players. I don't get it. And, they can play great for a period. And you're like, oh, these guys look pretty good. And then come out the next period and absolutely look like the worst Bruins team in 20 years. I know a lot of it is that number 91 on defense. He's like contagious bad player. I mean, a bad defenseman like that can just fuck your whole scheme up. You know what I mean? Giving goals up.
Lowry has been terrible at that this year.
He's young. He's talented. He's going through learning mistakes.
But what do you think, Tim? Like Scotty was alluding to this. I was reading yesterday. They've given up this season 25 goals in the last 2 minutes of a period or the game.
Wow.
Is it conditioning? Do they get tied to the end? Or is it coaching? I don't know
what the explanation is. It's like they all go into a shell in the last, if they got a lead, it's like they lose any, like you see
no confidence.
You see football games, like they went to that prevent defense. You want to let a team get some yards, went to the prevent defense. They completely go into a shell and they forget, the best way to hold the lead is just keep playing like you play. You know what I mean? Instead, they just try to flip it out instead of trying to break it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they look like they're killing a penalty.
Yeah.
When it's 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other team doesn't have to worry about you scoring.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just keep coming at you because I know even if I give up possession of the puck, you're just going to flip it out and we're going to get it back and we're going to come back at you. Yeah. Instead of trying to continue to score.
The NHL trading deadline is March 7th at 3 p.m. So that's next week.
I know you're going to bring Marchand up, right?
No one's going to give you much for Marchand.
He's got a lot of miles on it, a lot of wear on that tire. I don't think you're going to get that. I don't think you're going to get enough from Marchand to make it worth
exactly
the blow of trading him, the emotional blow to the fan base. I don't think you're going to get enough back. I could see if you were going to get a healthy return, if you were going to get, a top 10 draft pick or something like that, right? I don't think anyone's giving that much up for him.
Timmy, haven't you learned from the Garnett, Pierce? You have to let go, Timmy. You have to let go.
Yeah, but they got rid of them at the.
But we got a healthy return for them. We got an incredible haul for them. I mean, I don't know what Marchand's going to bring back. Like he was, that Team Canada thing. He looked pretty good out there, but
he was only playing like 4 or 5 minutes. He wasn't getting much time.
That just shows you how much more talent there is out there than him.
Yeah. Right? First of all, I just want to clear this up. KG and Pierce were definitely on the back end of their career.
Definitely. It's Scotty. We got an incredible haul for that, right? I mean, you gotta add that in there. We got an incredible return.
I'm saying, well, there was a situation. You had a Russian owner in Brooklyn who wanted to make a splash.
Yeah.
He wanted good things to happen. So
instant gratification.
And they did give him a good playoff. Didn't they win a round in the playoffs that first year?
One round.
Yeah. Okay. But, remember, Brooklyn was a new team.
Yeah.
They needed to sell seasons tickets. They needed a big splash in the New York papers and in the tabloids, and they got that. Now, it hurt them for 3 more years, but
yeah, present to me what we'll get from Marchand. Now, I'm not against doing it. I mean, emotionally, it would be tough. It would be like, giving your favorite dog away or something. You know what I mean?
Well, it's got to be a team that thinks they can win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Who I've heard is Toronto.
Yeah, I'm not just giving him away to give him away.
Toronto.
I want something for the emotional blow it's going to give. I want something.
You're going to need a number one pick.
Worth it.
Number one pick.
No, and like Tim says, a top 10 number one pick, not just the
you're not going to get that. No, Joe, you're not going to get that because it's going to be.
I know you're not going to get that. That's why it's not worth trading him.
Of course, it's worth
someone else.
He's done. He's finished. He's on the back end of his career.
How about trading 91 Sidorov? Tim will give him up, and you'll get a first round pick.
He's still one of our best players, Scotty. So I want something decent. We still got to sell tickets at the Bruins. I'm not just giving him away for a bag of pucks.
No, you're going to get first round pick and a prospect.
Well, we're in the first round is what I want to know.
Look,
at least a top 12 pick. I'm not giving him up for less than a top.
But you're not going to get a top 12 pick.
Well, then he's not worth getting rid of. He still has a couple of decent years left in him.
You have to get rid of him.
For what, Scotty? For what? Just to give him away?
No.
But Tim, there's one more thing to think about. He's a free agent at the end of this
year. That's true.
Look,
are we going to want to re-sign him if we can?
I don't think the Bruins. I think he wants to stay in Boston. I don't think it's going to take a lot of money to re-sign him.
Yeah.
Look, like Joe said, they always go for the highest. We always say that, but then they get a higher deal and they're ready to go. Look, you got to trade him before he has no value. We've learned this a million times.
Scotty, what I'm saying is not just for a bag of pucks.
Well, number one pick
Yeah,
and
he's
a prospect and a good prospect. A number one pick and a good prospect. What's wrong with that?
It has to
you
be
know
worth
what?
it. It has to be worth it because he's one of the only guys on the score sheet every night for the Bruins.
You're
Still,
not going to miss him. This is a team that's going nowhere. You're not going to miss him. You don't need his production right now.
Wait a minute. Go back just 2 years. Marcus Smart, about the same kind, beloved fan favorite in town, and reaching the end of the line, and they got a great return from KP and a first round pick. Didn't we get? We get a first round pick in KP.
There you go.
If someone throws a good deal,
yeah, exactly.
Okay
if Toronto's going to give me,
well, no, you might package it too.
The way I'm understanding you is just get rid of him, right?
No, I want to get something for him. No,
I'm okay with trading him, but I want something good back.
But if they have a package too, they may send another guy out with him to sweeten.
Oh, that's and that's how Tim gets rid of his defenseman, the big Russian.
Yeah, he needs to go, Timmy. We're not going anywhere for the next few years. We need good young players to come up. The Marchand, would you agree? The next Stanley Cup, hopefully in our lifetime, they win. Brad Marchand's not going to be on the team.
Oh, I hope I'm alive for the next.
I said that. Yeah, I know. But
no,
I said,
don't worry about that, Tim. You still got plenty of time.
I know, but I'm saying Brad Marchand will not be on the team.
Oh no.
Okay, well there you go. That's the test.
Timmy. With all the wear and tear, he's got 2 years left.
That's the test to me.
He's 36, right? With his lack of stature and all
serious injuries he's had. He had 2 surgeries left.
He must have scars up and down his body.
He's lost his speed, which was what separated him from other guys. His nifty skating is not so nifty anymore.
Oh, his game depended on super quick turns.
Yes,
and he's still effective. He is still effective.
Still can fake him out. He's still
Sweeney don't have the balls to trade him.
He's still one of the greatest penalty kills in the league too.
Sweeney
he can't put it in the net anymore, though. That's what's happened.
Sweeney and Neely don't answer the. Well, this is the last thing, and you agree or disagree. Sweeney and Neely don't have the balls to trade him.
Oh, I think they do.
Where in the past have they proven that they had the balls to trade anyone?
I don't know.
And the Allmark deal was horrendous.
That was horrendous.
I'll remember Allmark pulled the no trade on them when Bergeron told them, "Oh, don't go."
I know, but they had the
offseason. Let the kids finish the school year, then go.
They had the offseason to trade him, Joe. And they did, and apparently the kid they drafted is a complete bust.
So the kid at BC,
yeah,
he's very young, Scott. He's very, very.
Yeah,
very
he was.
Young.
What was he? 17.
Yeah, he's like a Great Dane still growing into his paws. You know, well, that kid could be something.
The kid is tall.
He's like 6'7".
Yeah,
but
that's
about 150 pounds.
I'll tell you what, he's not even supposed to be at BC right now. He was supposed to go and play a year in the USHL, but BC lost a couple of guys that they weren't expecting to lose, and that's the only reason he's playing for Boston College right
now. But I need a better prospect than that.
He's 3 years away.
He's 3 years away, Scott.
Okay, I needed better than that.
He's very, very
your baseball minor league prospect.
Yeah, I mean, he could, if he grows into himself, he could be a force.
Okay, quick, we got to finish the show.
Well, wait, let me go back to
who's going.
Let me go back to this on the board. They went really big this year. They just went big draft picks, big free agents, big everything, and it didn't work.
Okay, who's going in the trade? What big name is McAvoy going?
No, I would not give McAvoy. You see how good he was in that Canada tournament? He was unbelievable.
Well, he hasn't been that good
he got hurt.
Yeah.
No,
he didn't play well. He played his best hockey of the year in those games.
Yeah,
and he
he's a great defenseman.
Is Pasta going?
No,
you can't give Pasta away. No way.
He makes too much money anyways.
He's the only guy on the score sheet.
But I'll bet you at least one defenseman goes that's not named Lowry or McAvoy.
Those guys can put the puck in the net, Scotty. Are bars of gold.
Carlo's going.
Who?
Carlo.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, he's going. I've heard rumors that he's ready.
Because I think he's a free agent at the end of the year, so he'd just be a rental.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Carlo has just been he's gotten more assists on enemy goals this year than anyone else.
He was playing for the Bruins when he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
This is like his 7th year. Is it
Timmy's not Joe, Timmy's not qualified to talk about trading Bruins. He loves them all. He'd probably go in his his closet right now, and just lined up every player he has.
I would not.
He's got the bobbleheads of everyone.
Yeah,
I would not be weeping if Carlo got moved.
But look, I just don't want to do trades.
I just don't want to do trades for trades. I want good trades.
Yeah, you drove a stake into his heart when you said.
When Carlo, you should have seen his face. Oh my God, he gets
no. I'm not in love with Carlo.
But I think that's the one thing the Bruins have to trade is defense.
I say Morgan Geeky right now. He's going to cry.
Carlo's father sits like right behind me at the Bruins games, by the way.
See, everything. He knows every girlfriend, every wife, every father. He knows cousins. He knows lovers. This guy knows everything about the Bruins. He's not qualified to talk about trade.
I'm too emotionally attached.
Oh, he's too emotional. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our website at grandstanders.com and make sure to follow us on Spotify and YouTube and join the crowd. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.